Welcome to Unfrazzle, a podcast for solo business owners with a big vision who are ready for a kinder, more sustainable approach to productivity. I'm Louise Miller, and each week I share bite-sized insights to help you step away from the hustle, stop faffing and stay focused so you can make your brilliant ideas happen and make a bigger impact in the world. Before we dive into today's episode, if you enjoy what I'm sharing here on Unfrazzle and you'd like to support the podcast, you can buy me a cuppa by going to buymeacoffee.com/Louise Miller and making a one-off donation. I'll pop a link to that in the show notes. Okay, grab yourself a cuppa and let's get started. A few weeks ago, I had one of those light bulb moments that simultaneously makes you feel better because it's given you some kind of insight, but also makes you feel worse because you can't quite understand how you hadn't figured it out before. So I was having a really grumpy kind of week. So you know the sort where everything feels like an effort, energy is low, irritation is rising to the surface more readily than usual. I was feeling really unsettled and I wasn't quite sure why. So 10 years ago, I would have been all up in my head trying to problem solve my way out of this feeling of malaise, endlessly wondering, what does it mean? And trying to figure it out. But these days, I know that sometimes we just feel a little bit off. It's part of being human, and that's okay. It doesn't have to mean that anything needs to be fixed. And so I didn't go down that rabbit hole this time. I just let those feelings be there. But inevitably, as is often the way, in not kind of consciously trying to figure out why I was feeling so glum, I suddenly had a real flash of clarity. I had too many loose ends. There were too many things in my life and in my business that weren't pinned down and that were making themselves a nuisance in the back of my mind, poking and prodding me for attention. So for example, I've been desperately trying to catch up with a friend I haven't seen in way too long, but we couldn't make the logistics work. And I needed to go and collect my new glasses. I needed to decide what to do about a birthday gift for a friend. I needed to find some people who might be willing to answer some research questions for me. And there were a few other things. I won't bore you with them all now, but there was a lot going on that wasn't quite settled. There were just too many unknowns. And all of these things, they needed space in my calendar, but I kept batting them away because trying to figure out when to fit them in to an already full enough schedule felt really stressful. And I felt as though putting all of those things into my calendar would mean sacrificing some of the white space that is so necessary for my productivity and for my well-being. But I soon realised that that was just my perception and it wasn't the reality. When I actually sat down with my diary and committed to making some decisions, it actually wasn't anywhere near as bad as I thought. And I realised that I could chunk some things together. There were certain things, if I needed to go out, I could do them in the same chunk of time. I could go and collect my new glasses whilst buying a present for my friend's birthday. And once I knew that I'd made space for the things that I needed and actually wanted to be doing, it felt like a weight had been lifted. Even though I hadn't completed everything, I'd at least pinned them down and I'd made some decisions around when I was going to move them forward so I could stop fretting about them. So do you have any loose ends of your own at the moment? Any half thought through, partly organised things that just need a little closure or a place in your diary? Why not spend a little bit of time either consciously choosing to let those things go or scheduling in the action that you need to take to close that loop and then see how that makes you feel? If you're anything like me, it really will feel like a weight has been lifted. So as always, I hope that this helps and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you for listening to Unfrazzle. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend who needs a dose of calm productivity in their life. And I'd love it if you could leave me a rating and a review, as that will help more people discover this podcast. If you'd like to hear more from me to help you stop faffing and take back control of your time, you'll find a link to join my mailing list in the show notes, and I would really love for you to join us. So thanks so much for your support, and I look forward to seeing you next time.